you're all set.
Oh, thank you. Okay, go ahead and adjust the seat and mirrors however you'd like. Just going to run through a few things with you before we get going. Okay, so there is this display, which is what you'll be focusing on, and it's going to show you your cruise control set speed and your, which will be down here at the bottom, and your current speed, miles per hour. And this is going to show you the Super Cruise symbol. When it's green, it's engaged, and the -20 tells you how much you're offset from the center of the lane. We'll look at that a little more closely. And on the steering wheel, the buttons that you're going to need to press, set will set cruise control, plus and minus will adjust your speed up and down. And this upper right button is the Super Cruise button. This is nudge left and right. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But the main ones are Super Cruise and then set for cruise control. This is a display. When Super Cruise is engaged, it's going to turn green. When you're overriding it, it's going to turn blue. When it's off, obviously it's off. For safety, if anything were to go wrong, I would hit the emergency stop button. When that happens, you'll lose power steering, but everything else will be okay, and then you'll be able to steer off to the side of the road. Hasn't happened yet, but you never know. Okay, if you are ready, we'll do the first maneuver, which... Oh, and I'm sorry, the lead vehicle is my Confederate WD, and he's going to be doing a bunch of different maneuvers based off of what I asked him to do. Okay. So he's going to be helping us out. You had a question?
Yeah, you said first set the cruise control regular, and then this.
And then that, right. So
Sure.
I'll instruct you. You will get up to 60 miles per hour. We'll go ahead of WD. He's going to follow us. So whenever you're ready, and get into the third lane over as you're doing that. This is 2, one more. You get up to 60. When you're at 60, hit the cruise control set. Okay, so cruise control is engaged. You're set to 60 miles per hour. Wherever you want to be in the lane is fine, and then hit the Super Cruise button, up the top part of it. Yep. That's gone green, you can let go of the wheel. Okay, it's natural for people to hover around it for a little bit or hover over the brake, but Super Cruise is now engaged, and it will maintain this position in the lane and where you set it and at the speed that you set it as we go around the track.
Wow. So everybody said that I didn't. Wow.
It's cool. It's a very cool feature, and we're going to, in production, it would just really be one button pressed. You push Super Cruise, and it would engage everything. So we're going to do some maneuvers with WD. WD, go ahead and get ahead of us, and then he's going to slow down to 50 miles per hour. So when he gets in our path, you're going to see that we'll have the vehicle head icon light up. So he's detected now. You don't need to do anything. It's detected him, and as he slows down to 50 miles per hour, we will slow down to 50 miles per hour, maintaining a 2-second headway from him. So we keep 2 seconds behind. So you can see we're starting to slow down. That distance, headway distance, is really, in production, is driver controlled. You can make it shorter or longer. We have it set to a fixed 2 seconds.
And now, if it is, say you're in traffic a little bit more on the freeway, and I think there's cars all around you.
Yep.
It still keeps this far away.
It would keep us, unless you adjusted it to be closer. You could set it down to about 1 second, but that's about as close as we would allow it to set. If you're going slower, you actually get closer. I mean, it's time-based, it's not distance-based.
Okay.
So if we were going really slow, 2 seconds is pretty close. If we were both going faster, it would open up.
That's what I was thinking.
So WD, get up to 70. You don't need to do anything. As he speeds up, we will get back to our set speed of 60 miles per hour.
When does this kick in? Can you use it at 35 miles per hour? Do you have to be going on freeway speed?
The adaptive cruise control, I'm trying to remember the lower speed, 35-ish, something like that. For the Super Cruise, for lane centering, it's actually limited to highway operation. That beeping is me.
Oh, sorry, that was my editor actually calling me.
Oh, okay. Okay, we don't encourage texting.
Yeah, I am not texting. I just
So the next maneuver we're going to be WD slow down to 50 and then stay in this lane. Okay, what we're going to do is he's going to slow down to 50, and then when I ask him to, he's going to slow down to 30 and get over a lane. You are going to steer and follow behind him. You're not going to do any braking or throttle, but you're just going to override the steering and follow him into the adjacent lane.
Okay.
So when I ask you, we'll get closer, we'll get to 50. Okay, WD, slow down to 30 and go to the adjacent lane. And as he does that, you just steer and follow him. Okay, you see it went blue, okay, and then put it back in lanes. Just hold on the wheel until it goes green, okay, and then you let go again. We'll do it again. WD over a lane again and down to 25. So again, follow him, override it. So you can override or take control of the system at any time. You can do the brake, the throttle, the steering, just as you normally do. Wait, hold on to it until it goes green.
Until it goes green.
There you go.
All right. Now the cameras are doing that then with the lanes,
Right.
pretty much.
Camera's detecting the lanes. It also uses map data to tell us, curvature of the road. And camera and map data gets fused together to give us what the path should be. The camera's also detecting the other vehicle. Radars are detecting the other vehicle. All that data gets fused together to tell us, that's our target in front of us. Here's our target that we're keeping from. So WD is going to get back up to 60 and go over 2 lanes. Again, you override and get back up to 60.
It just turned red there actually for a second. What does that mean?
It meant it lost the lane for some reason. But go ahead and override. But you don't need to do anything with the throttle. It's going to go right back up to your 60 miles per hour. And then when it goes green, you can. Okay. WD, get ahead of us a bit, and then we'll do a cut-in maneuver. So the next thing, he's going to accelerate up, and then he's going to pull over 1 lane and slow down to 50. And we're set at 60. When I ask him to, he's going to cut in front of us.
Okay.
And what you'll see is that we will acquire him as a target, and then back off to our 2 seconds, and then get back to 50 miles per hour.
The lighting's a really interesting concept, just with the green.
Well, the important thing is that it's tied to the wheel. We want you to know who's controlling the wheel. Is it autonomous, Super Cruise with green, or are you overriding it? Or do you need to take control like that red that you saw? Or is the system off, where the light would be off? So WD, cut over and slow down to 50 miles per hour. During this maneuver, you don't need to do anything. It'll pick him up and back off and slow down to 50. The HMI is critical. Getting the human-machine interface is very important. We need to have it where it's one button to engage it, where it's very clear and elegant and intuitive of who's operating and what's it doing, and do I need to take control. It's a critical component to all this. Forget about all the magic in the back of the car. People need to be able to use it. Okay, cut in now. Cut in. Okay. So it detects him, applies the brake, backs off. It's going to back us back off to the 2 seconds headway. And I guess that's up to his speed. So the other thing to show you, those are all the kind of choreographed maneuvers. The other thing to show you is right now you are set right in the middle of the lane. You're set to 0. Most people choose to drive on one side or the other, and sometimes they change that. So if you wanted to nudge yourself one way or the other, there's a couple ways we can do it. There are these nudge buttons, but also we're developing some switches in the seat bolsters. So if you, with your elbow, tap like that, a little bit harder.
Oh, I can actually.
Go ahead and do it. Do it again. Oh, wait, and you can see it's changing. You can take it all the way up to 50, and you can see we're nudging over to the right side.
Yeah.
Or there's one in the other side, and you can nudge yourself over the other.
If there's a semi or something that you don't want to be by, or...
For example, or under those circumstances, we would automatically nudge you to keep you away from the semi. As part of what we're developing is automatic adjustment. But people choose to be on one side or the other, and your hands might be busy because they're off the wheel, yet you want to interface with the system and nudge yourself as we're developing these elbow switches.
Can I,
Go ahead. Sure. However you want. It's 10 centimeters with each push. So that's super
That
crazy.
is absolutely amazing. What was your role in the?
So I'm the project manager, program manager, so in active safety. I'm on the vehicle engineering side, product development side. So my compatriot who's in the other car is my equal at R&D. My role is to bring this out of R&D and into production. So that's what I'm doing. I'm leading a team of engineers who's working to get this into production.
Any time frame for anything like that?
You'll see it in cars this decade.
That's amazing.
So all this stuff is still under development.
Yeah.
The algorithms, the actuation, the HMI, the sensing. There's a lot of work to do, but there's a large team that's developing this, including the folks from R&D. They're still involved. They've created all of this, and I'm working to productionize it.
A lot of the building blocks for it are on the new XTS.
I was going to ask, what if, say, I move it to the middle lane? Will it find the two lanes, or does it have
That's
to-
what you did it. You did it when you did that override. That's exactly what it did.
Okay, no, I mean, if I'm, say, I override and
Oh,
I'm
where you were
driving
like-
in the middle of both lanes.
Oh, okay. On the lane marking.
Yeah.
And by the way, we're gonna get off when we get to the bridge. You can tap the brakes and take control of the system. What it'll do is, if it depending on which side you're on, if we believe that you want to be in one lane or the other, we'll acquire it. If you're right on it, we won't let you engage.
Okay.
You need to be where you expect
You have to be in
Yeah.
the lane.
Right. You need to be in the lane.
What's the toughest thing trying to go from R&D to? Was it the technology, or was it trying to figure out what people wanted in the technology, or?
No, we had a very good idea, and we've done some market research. So you'll follow WD. You can tap the brakes to override, and then you're in control. We had a good idea of what people wanted, and some market study information confirmed it mostly, although it gave us a bit of direction.
Pull in behind him over there.
Most of our effort, I can't say it's any one thing. There are a lot of challenges. The HMI is a challenge. Getting that to be elegant and intuitive is a challenge. Creating this system that's going to work reliably is a challenge. Creating or working with on the sensors to get the sort of sensing that we need. The sensing that we need is not available today. It's going to be available in the near future. And
Is
we're